What if I told you that a man who spent most of his life as a slave discovered the ultimate secret to unshakable inner peace? A secret so powerful that it transformed him from a powerless prisoner into one of history's most influential philosophers? Today, you're about to learn Epictetus's revolutionary approach to accepting what you cannot control, and why this ancient wisdom might be the missing piece in your modern life puzzle. Before we dive deep into this life-changing philosophy, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Why? Because every single day, I share practical Stoic wisdom that successful people have used for over 2,000 years to build mental resilience, find inner peace, and create extraordinary lives. Don't let the algorithm decide when you get this wisdom. Take control and subscribe now. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweating, and you're mentally rehearsing apologies. Sound familiar? Now imagine if, in that exact moment, you could access a mental switch that instantly transforms your stress into calm acceptance. That's exactly what Epictetus mastered, and what you're about to learn. Born around 50 AD in ancient Greece, Epictetus wasn't born into privilege or power. He was born into slavery. For decades, he had absolutely no control over his circumstances, his daily routine, or even his own body. Yet from this position of complete powerlessness, he developed a philosophy so profound that it influenced emperors, shaped modern psychology, and continues to transform lives today. Stick with me because in just a few minutes, I'm going to share Epictetus's 3-step formula for instant emotional freedom, a technique so simple you can use it immediately, yet so powerful it can revolutionize how you handle every challenge in your life. Here's what blows my mind about Epictetus. He discovered ultimate freedom while living in chains. Think about the irony. A slave teaching emperors about liberty. But here's the thing. Epictetus understood something that most free people never grasp. True freedom isn't about external circumstances. It's about internal mastery. His master, Epictetus, was reportedly cruel and even broke Epictetus's leg, leaving him permanently disabled. Yet instead of becoming bitter, Epictetus used this experience to develop his core teaching, the dichotomy of control. He realized that while he couldn't control what happened to his body, he had complete sovereignty over his mind. This isn't just ancient philosophy. This is practical psychology. Modern research in cognitive behavioral therapy directly traces back to Epictetus's insights. When you understand what you can and cannot control, you stop wasting energy on the impossible and channel all your power into what actually matters. Let me give you a modern example. You lose your job unexpectedly. The Epictetus approach isn't to pretend you're happy about it or to suppress your emotions. Instead, you immediately ask, what can I control in this situation? You can't control the company's decision, but you can control your response, your job search strategy, your attitude, and how you use this transition period. Now let's dive into the heart of Epictetus's teaching, the dichotomy of control. This single concept has the power to eliminate 90% of your daily stress and anxiety. Are you ready for this? Epictetus divided everything in life into 2 categories: things that are up to us and things that are not up to us. That's it. Simple, right? But here's where it gets revolutionary. Things that are up to us. Our judgments, our decisions, our values, our responses, our effort, our character. Things that are not up to us. Other people's actions, the weather, the past, the future, our reputation, external outcomes. Here's the game changer. Epictetus taught that we should focus 100% of our energy on what's up to us and accept everything else with equanimity. Not passive resignation, active acceptance combined with focused action where we have power. Keep watching because I'm about to reveal Epictetus's most powerful technique, the one that can instantly shift you from victim mentality to victor mentality in any situation. This technique alone has helped millions of people reclaim their inner peace. Let me share a personal story that illustrates this perfectly. Last year, I was devastated when a major project I'd worked on for months was suddenly canceled due to budget cuts. My initial reaction was anger, frustration, and self-pity. Then I remembered Epictetus. I asked myself, what's up to me in this situation? I couldn't control the company's financial decisions, but I could control how I interpreted this setback. Instead of seeing it as a failure, I chose to see it as redirection. I used the freed up time to pursue a different opportunity that ended up being far more rewarding. That's the power of the dichotomy of control and action. Now, here's Epictetus's 3-step formula for instant emotional freedom that I promised you earlier. This is pure gold, so pay close attention. Step 1. The pause when something upsets you. Immediately pause and ask, is this up to me or not up to me? This single question interrupts the automatic stress response and activates your rational mind. Epictetus called this the discipline of desire, training yourself to want only what you can actually control. Step 2. The redirect if it's not up to you. Immediately redirect your energy to what is up to you. Don't waste a single second lamenting what you cannot change. Instead, channel all your power into your response, your preparation, your character development, or your next action. Step 3. The reframe. This is where Epictetus's genius really shines. He taught that every obstacle contains an opportunity for growth. He would say, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. When you can't control the situation, you can always control how you grow from it. Let's practice this with a common scenario. Your flight gets canceled, ruining your vacation plans. Step 1. Pause. Is this up to me? No, weather and airline operations are not up to you. Step 2. Redirect. What is up to you? Your response, your backup plans, how you treat the airline staff, whether you use this time productively. Step 3. Reframe. Maybe this delay prevents an accident. Maybe it leads to a better opportunity. Maybe it's a chance to practice patience and resilience. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Let's get practical. How do you apply Epictetus's wisdom to the challenges you face right now? I'm going to give you 5 real-world scenarios and show you exactly how to use Stoic acceptance. Scenario 1. Relationship conflicts. You can't control your partner's mood, words, or actions. But you can control your response, your communication style, your boundaries, and your own emotional regulation. Instead of trying to change them, focus on being the person you want to be in the relationship. Scenario 2. Career setbacks. You can't control office politics, economic downturns, or your boss's decisions. But you can control your skill development, your network building, your work quality, and your job search strategy. Every setback becomes a setup for a comeback when you focus on what's up to you. Scenario 3. Health challenges. You can't control genetics, accidents, or aging. But you can control your lifestyle choices, your medical compliance, your attitude toward treatment, and how you support others facing similar challenges. Epictetus himself lived with disability and found strength in acceptance. Scenario 4. Financial stress. You can't control market crashes, inflation, or economic policies. But you can control your spending habits, your saving strategy, your skill development, and your response to financial pressure. Focus on building what you can control rather than worrying about what you cannot. Scenario 5. Social media and public opinion. You absolutely cannot control what others think, say, or post about you. But you can control your own content, your response to criticism, your digital boundaries, and whether you let others' opinions define your self-worth. Stay with me because I'm about to share the most powerful Epictetus quote that can instantly transform how you handle any crisis. Plus, I'll give you a simple daily practice that takes just 2 minutes, but builds unshakable mental resilience. Epictetus didn't just teach philosophy. He created a practical system for daily life. Here's how you can build your own practice of accepting the uncontrollable. Morning reflection, 2 minutes every morning. Spend 2 minutes identifying 3 things you cannot control that might happen today, and 3 things you can control in response. This mental preparation builds resilience before challenges arise. The evening review. Each night, review your day through the Stoic lens. When did you waste energy on things outside your control? When did you successfully focus on what's up to you? This isn't about self-judgment. It's about building awareness and strength. The obstacle inventory. Weekly, list your current challenges and categorize them. Up to me or not up to me. You'll be amazed how many problems dissolve when you realize they're not actually your problems to solve. The gratitude reframe. Epictetus taught that every difficulty is a gift in disguise, a chance to practice virtue and build character. Start seeing obstacles as training equipment for your soul. Here's my favorite Epictetus quote that changed everything for me. You are not your body and hairstyle, but your capacity for choosing well. If your choices are beautiful, so too will you be. Think about that. Your beauty, your worth, your success. It all comes down to your capacity for choosing well. And the most important choice you make every day is what to focus on and what to let go. This is where Epictetus's teaching becomes truly revolutionary. He transforms you from a victim of circumstances into a victor over circumstances. Not by changing what happens to you, but by mastering how you respond to what happens to you. Epictetus lived this transformation literally. He went from being a powerless slave to teaching Roman emperors. His student Marcus Aurelius became one of history's greatest leaders, applying Stoic principles to rule an empire. The same principles that worked in ancient Rome work in modern life. The victim mindset says, "Why is this happening to me? This isn't fair. I can't handle this." The victor mindset, trained by Epictetus, says, "How can I grow from this? What can I control here? How can I use this to become stronger?" Let me share a powerful story. A successful entrepreneur I know lost everything in the 2008 financial crisis. His business collapsed, his savings vanished, and he faced bankruptcy. Using Epictetus's principles, he focused only on what he could control: his effort, his learning, his relationships, and his character. Instead of wallowing in self-pity, he used the crisis as an opportunity to develop new skills, build deeper relationships, and create a more resilient business model. 5 years later, he had built an even more successful company. He told me, "That crisis was the best thing that ever happened to me because it taught me what I could really control." That's the power of Stoic acceptance. It doesn't make you passive, it makes you strategically focused on where your power actually lies. One of the most practical applications of Epictetus's wisdom is handling criticism and rejection. In our social media age, this skill is more valuable than ever. Epictetus taught, "Remember that it is not enough to be hit or insulted to be harmed. You must believe that you are being harmed." If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. This is revolutionary. Other people's words only have the power you give them. Their opinions are not up to you, but your response to their opinions absolutely is. Here's a practical framework for handling criticism. Step 1. Separate facts from interpretations. What did they actually say versus what you're adding to it? Step 2. Extract any useful feedback. Is there truth you can learn from, even if it's delivered poorly? Step 3. Release what's not yours to carry. Their anger, their judgment, their problems. These belong to them, not you. Step 4. Focus on your character. How can you respond in a way that reflects your values? I once received harsh criticism for a video I made. My initial reaction was defensive anger. Then I applied Epictetus's teaching. I couldn't control their opinion, but I could control my response. I extracted the valid feedback, ignored the personal attacks, and used the experience to improve my content. That criticism actually made me a better creator. Epictetus had a unique way of reframing every situation. He taught that our problems aren't really problems. They're opportunities to practice virtue. This isn't toxic positivity. It's strategic perspective. When you're stuck in traffic, you're practicing patience. When someone treats you poorly, you're practicing compassion and self-control. When you face financial pressure, you're practicing resourcefulness and resilience. Every challenge becomes a chance to strengthen your character. This perspective shift is incredibly powerful because it puts you back in control. You might not control the situation, but you always control what virtues you practice in response to the situation. Epictetus would say, "Every art and every faculty contemplates certain primary objects." The art of living contemplates how to respond virtuously to whatever life presents. You become an artist of your own character development. Here's a practical exercise. For 1 week, end each difficult situation by asking, "What virtue did I just practice?" or "What virtue could I practice here?" Watch how this simple question transforms your relationship with challenges. Mental resilience isn't about being tough or suppressing emotions. According to Epictetus, it's about developing what he called the discipline of action, responding to life from your values rather than your impulses. Think of resilience like a muscle. Every time you choose your response instead of reacting automatically, you're building strength. Every time you focus on what you can control instead of what you cannot, you're developing mental fitness. Epictetus taught 3 core disciplines. The discipline of desire, want only what you can control. The discipline of action, act according to your values, not your emotions. The discipline of assent, choose your thoughts and judgments carefully. These aren't just philosophical concepts. They're practical training methods for building unshakable inner strength. Modern neuroscience confirms what Epictetus taught 2,000 years ago. When you practice choosing your responses, you literally rewire your brain. You strengthen the prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational decision-making, and reduce the reactivity of the amygdala, responsible for fight or flight responses. This means that Stoic practice doesn't just change your philosophy, it changes your brain structure. You become neurologically more resilient, calm, and focused. Let's talk about applying Epictetus's wisdom in your career. The workplace is full of things you cannot control: office politics, difficult colleagues, economic uncertainty, technological changes, and management decisions. But here's what you can always control in any professional situation: your effort and preparation, your attitude and energy, your skill development, your professional relationships, your response to feedback, your ethical standards, your communication style. I know someone who was passed over for a promotion she deserved. Instead of becoming bitter, she used Epictetus's approach. She couldn't control the decision, but she could control her response. She asked for specific feedback, developed the recommended skills, and maintained her professionalism. 6 months later, an even better opportunity opened up, and she was the obvious choice because of how she had handled the previous disappointment. That's Stoic career strategy. Focus intensely on what you can control, accept what you cannot, and let your character speak for itself. Relationships might be the area where Epictetus's wisdom is most needed and most challenging to apply. We desperately want to control how others feel about us, how they treat us, and how they respond to our love. But Epictetus taught that trying to control others is the fastest path to misery. You cannot control their emotions, their choices, their words, or their actions. You can only control your own. This doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting abuse. It means focusing your energy on being the person you want to be in the relationship, setting healthy boundaries, and communicating clearly about your needs. Here's a relationship framework based on Epictetus. Love without attachment to outcomes. Give your best without demanding specific responses. Communicate without controlling the reception. Speak your truth without managing their reaction. Support without fixing. Offer help without taking responsibility for their choices. Forgive without requiring change. Release resentment for your own peace, not to change them. This approach actually improves relationships because it removes the pressure and manipulation that often damage connections. When people feel free to be themselves around you, they're more likely to choose to be their best selves. Perhaps nowhere is Epictetus's wisdom more needed than in dealing with loss. He taught that grief comes not from loss itself, but from our attachment to things being permanent when everything in life is temporary. This doesn't mean suppressing grief or pretending loss doesn't hurt. Epictetus himself grieved, but he distinguished between natural sorrow and unnecessary suffering. Natural sorrow honors what we've lost. Unnecessary suffering comes from fighting reality, and demanding that things be different than they are. When facing loss, Epictetus would ask, "What can I control in this situation?" You cannot control death, illness, or the end of relationships. But you can control how you honor what you've lost, how you support others who are grieving, how you find meaning in the experience, and how you choose to live moving forward. I've seen people transform their deepest losses into their greatest sources of strength by applying this principle. They couldn't control the loss, but they could control how they let it shape their character and their service to others. Here's the ultimate paradox that Epictetus discovered. True freedom comes from accepting what you cannot control. When you stop fighting reality and start working with it, you discover a kind of inner liberty that no external circumstance can touch. Epictetus was physically enslaved but mentally free. Many people today are physically free but mentally enslaved to others' opinions, to circumstances beyond their control, to outcomes they cannot guarantee. Real freedom isn't the ability to do whatever you want. Real freedom is the ability to choose your response to whatever happens. It's the freedom to maintain your values regardless of external pressure. It's a freedom to find peace in any circumstance. This is why Stoicism has influenced everyone from ancient emperors to modern entrepreneurs, from prisoners of war to professional athletes. The principles work because they're based on the fundamental truth about human nature. We are responsible beings. We have the ability to choose our responses. So here we are, at the end of our journey with Epictetus. You've learned the dichotomy of control, the three-step formula for emotional freedom, and practical applications for every area of life. But knowledge without action is just entertainment. Epictetus would challenge you. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Starting today, begin practicing the art of accepting the uncontrollable. Start with small things, traffic, weather, other people's moods. Build your stoic muscles on minor irritations so you'll be strong for major challenges. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Epictetus himself was a student of philosophy his entire life. The goal isn't to never feel upset. It's to recover faster and respond better each time. Your life will transform when you truly internalize this truth. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a victor over circumstances through the power of your chosen responses. If this video helped you see your challenges differently, please hit that like button. Here's why. When you like this video, you're not just supporting the channel. You're telling YouTube to share this life-changing wisdom with others who desperately need it. Your like could be the reason someone discovers the inner peace they've been searching for. Drop a comment and tell me, "I choose my response." This simple phrase will remind you of today's lesson and help me know this content is making a real difference in your life. Share this video with someone who's struggling with things they can't control. Maybe it's a friend dealing with job stress, a family member facing health challenges, or a colleague overwhelmed by circumstances. Your share could be the gift that changes their entire perspective on life. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because every day I share practical Stoic wisdom that successful people have used for over 2,000 years. Don't leave your personal growth to chance. Take control and make sure you never miss these insights. Finally, come back next week and let me know how you applied Epictetus's teachings. Share your victories, your challenges, and your breakthroughs. Your story could inspire thousands of others to embrace the art of accepting the uncontrollable. Remember, you cannot control what happens to you, but you have complete control over what happens within you. That's where your true power lies. That's where your freedom begins. That's where your transformation starts. Until next time, keep practicing, keep growing, and keep choosing your responses wisely.